and I blog at athomewithholly.com. Um, I'm here to show you guys today some of the things that we had purchased at Target Dollar Zone recently to help enhance this year's D.E.A.R time in our homeschool. So I hope that this kind of gives you an idea of how to enhance some reading for your children. So when I was at the dollar section of Target, their dollar spot, I found these digital bookmarks. So I'm using them, one in blue and one in red. My son, everything is color coded in blue for him, and my daughter is red. So I'm using these bookmarks to create a healthy competition for my two children during our D.E.A.R time. Now, if you don't know what D.E.A.R stands for, it's drop everything and read. And we use that in our homeschool during lunchtime when I'm prepping lunch in our kitchen, which is, if you can't tell, I'm pointing off towards our kitchen in our house. So I can see what they're doing while I'm prepping lunch, and they have a Kindle, and on the Kindle they have the Reading Rainbow program, which I'm going to show you in just a minute here. But while we were at the dollar spot, I also saw this little chart. It's supposed to be for chores. So I slapped a couple stickers up over the word chores, wrote books, crossed out the chores that they had already written on there with some stickers, and added our time. Put my son and my daughter's name on the little markers they have here. They're little school buses. So as they go and read 20 minutes and 40 minutes each day, they're supposed to read about 20 minutes. So they will move along the chart, and whoever gets to, what is my goal? 220 minutes first, they get to pick a special prize. So that has helped create some healthy competition so that they both want to read. And they're both young, so they aren't very good independent learners yet. So we are using, I'm going to take this and minimize it and show you guys here. We use Reading Rainbow. So I'm going to go into my son's Reading Rainbow backpack here. And this is the inside of the Reading Rainbow app. You can see it has different islands that the kids can go into. We use National Geographic Kids quite frequently, so we'll click in there, and it will go through and it'll show you the different books that they can choose from. I actually already did some scrolling through here earlier, and then we have some field trips here as well. You can go through and see. There are several islands like this. There's Genius Academy, Awesome People, the National Geographic. You can see there's just a ton of books and a ton of videos in here. And let's see, I think there's 5 islands. 1, 2, 3. Let's scroll over here. 4, 5, 6. 6 islands. Music Mountain, My Friends and Family. Animal Kingdom, the National Geographics, Awesome People, and Genius Academy. Okay, and then when you click in to the backpack, you can see he has his books in here. So I'm going to open up a book, and you can see how this can really help someone who is not great at reading. So this is like an intro video here that we don't need to watch. Okay. So this is the book. I'm going to turn up the volume on my computer.
For Kids and Dragons.
Okay, so you'll see
by Jean
there's
Penzelbaum.
2
Illustrated by Martine Gorbeau.
buttons
Read
here.
by Emily Rankin.
One is for an audiobook, and the other is so your child can read the book themselves. So if they are an independent reader, this will still work for you. But if they are working on learning how to read, I absolutely recommend Reading Rainbow. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. We love it. It has gotten a lot less expensive since we have started to use it. And we have been using it for over 2 years now. Since it very first came out, we've been using it. So you can see here, I have selected the audio, and we're going to read the first page.
One warm, sunny day at the end of last week, my mom and I went for a walk to the creek. As I raced down the hill in my little red wagon,
okay, and then you just turn the page.
I veered to the left and smacked into a dragon. I suppose he could see there was fear in my eyes as I jumped to my feet, quite filled with surprise. He sheepishly grinned and stepped out of the way, but he seemed so polite that I asked him to play.
And then occasionally on these pages, you'll see a little swirl. And if you click on them, there's animation. My son absolutely loves the animation. So you'll see him click this like 10 times before he'll go on to the next page. But Reading Rainbow is, again, it's helped my son very much as far as reading goes. He has done marvelous with picking out books, and he's able to pick out from a huge variety of books here. Obviously, they have a great selection of books, and he's able to pick these books, return them as he pleases. If he doesn't like a book, he'll pull it out of his backpack, put it in the return slot, which you could see on that previous screen. And he will just pick a new one. And there's lots of videos that kind of correspond with these books to add some enhanced learning. And it is, for the amount of money that we pay, I believe it's $39.99 a year. This has been a wonderful program. If we can't get to the library, of course, this has given us a tremendous amount of audiobooks for him to select from. It reads to him. It's helped him grow in confidence with his reading. My daughter, who is only 3 years old, obviously doesn't have strong reading skills yet. So she's able to read books on her own. So again, this has been super helpful to us. The 5 books that you have in your backpack at any given time, they download so you can take them somewhere without Wi-Fi. And then when you return them, they are removed from the device. And then you don't have to worry about them taking up space on your tablet because they are removed from the tablet itself. So again, you can take it places with you, road trips. You can take it, say, to doctor's appointments. It's perfect for road schooling. We have a Kindle that we use. Now, we do have another Android tablet that I had purchased. It was like one of those cheapies around Christmas time that you can get at like CVS or Walgreens or something like that for the $29.99 specials that they run around that time. And it does not work on that type of tablet. So I strongly suggest that if you like this program, you make sure that it works on the tablet that you have. Again, we have a Kindle Fire. It was $49.99. We use it for lots of other things in our homeschool, including Starfall and ABC Mouse. And there's a couple other apps that we have on there. Plus, we have Prime Reading and Prime Music, as well as Prime Video, which we use the Kindle for. So the Kindle has been well worth that $50 investment for us. It's lasted well over a year. In fact, our first Kindle just broke on us, and it was over 5, almost 6 years old. So again, that was well worth it for the investment, and that was the very first Kindle they ever came out with. I pretty much raced out and bought it the very first day it came out with they came out with a Kindle Fire. It was the first generation, and it lasted 6 years. So I have the utmost confidence that these ones will too. My husband has one for himself. My son has one for himself. And I have the cheap Android because, of course, as mom, I always end up with the the stuff that's the oldest and, So, again, just make sure if you like this program, they do offer a free trial. Make sure it works on your tablet. It does work on the computer. You can use it. The way I just showed you was on my laptop, so you can use it from a computer. Again, it's $4.99 a month or $39.99 a year, and the reason that we use it again is because I want my children to be reading at least 20 minutes a day. And so we use these digital notebooks because they can set their time, and it will record it. So we can start our timer here, and then you can see, why am I doing it right here? Oh, I'm sorry. No, it takes a minute for it to go up there. So I'm not going to hold this for a minute, but it'll time it for a minute. And then you can see it'll have the time on there itself when you get started. And then there's a couple different modes that you can go through. You can work your way time. You can count down the amount of time you have to read. You can count up the amount you have to read. You can set an alarm for when you want to start reading. So these were $5 at the Target dollar spot, which is, I think, the highest amount that the dollar spot goes anymore. It used to only be $1, but then it started sneaking up to $3, and now it's at $5. This was $3. Again, I just threw some stickers on there and made it into our Track Your Books to create that healthy competition for my children. So I hope that you guys enjoyed a look into our reading program and what has helped us at this age where my children weren't necessarily, my son especially, not motivated to read. So the competition has helped him with that motivation to read, because then he gets a prize if he beats his sister. And then the fact that they can't read independently, this Reading Rainbow program has helped them to read independently. So I hope you enjoyed the sneak peek into this, and that it has helped you to get an inside glimpse of what Reading Rainbow looks like, because I know sometimes descriptions aren't always the easiest, but I really love this program, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Okay? All right, that's all I have for you today.